This is a real murder mystery. In March 2008, Greenwich police get a break. They talk to Carlos Trujillo's young cousin, Lenny. And Lenny has a story for detectives. His cousin Carlos paid him to kill Andrew Kissel. But there's no hard evidence connecting Carlos to the crime.
Only evidence they had against Carlos was the words of this Leonard Trujillo, this 19-year-old kid.
Please, Carlos, don't do this. No, shut up. Please, don't do this. What are you doing?
It was all circumstantial. They had no murder weapon, no confessions, no eyewitnesses.
What are you waiting for? Do it!
Lenny stays firm, saying Carlos gave him $11,000 and a computer to carry out the killing.
He wanted me to do it, but I pulled out.
But Lenny's conflicting testimony confuses the court.
I wasn't there when it happened. He did it without me.
Leonard Trujillo pleaded guilty without providing an elaborate factual background of what had happened.
You know, the 5 or 6 different versions of events, the lack of corroboration for basically anything that he said.
Renee reveals her true colors to strangers and keeps her husband in the dark.
At heart, Renee is an exhibitionist. Look at me, look at me. Everybody, look at me.
She loved that men were lusting after her, that they wanted her. She was the star.
Yeah, you look good up there.
At the front of the line is computer technician, 28-year-old John Frazier.
John showered her with attention, and that's what she craved.
I think we should get ourselves a room.
Yeah.
It's open!
I thought I'd never leave.
I'm not sure she had any boundaries. There wasn't anything Renee wouldn't do if it made her feel good.
But soon, Renee's secret life is exposed.
It's crazy. It's so good.
Oh.
So good about it.
Hello? I had your wife last night. She couldn't get enough of me. Who is this? She loves it when I grab hold of her.
Brent received a phone call to say that I've been sleeping with your wife.
You are such a loser.
Okay, who are you?
She's gonna be mine, I promise you.
No, give me a name.
John Frazier's not so happy to share.
You recognize these?
What does John do? He pulls out a pair of Renee's panties.
Come on, get in.
You wanna see a good movie? You might learn something.
Okay, come on, get in now. Oh, come on, get in now.
I mean, the level of depravity and humiliation here is just incredible.
John kept trying to provoke Brent into a fight.
I'm sorry.
Brent was so desperate to keep the marriage together that he fell right into Renee's trap.
That was fun, though.
More of that thing.
And they were on their way back, walking to their hotel. They started noticing a figure in the sand dunes that appeared to be watching them. This individual catches up to him and pulls a gun out.
Hand it over his face. Hand over everything.
It's fine. It's fine.
He takes all their jewelry, watches, money, everything they have.
Police have every reason to be suspicious.
The three major motivators of murder are sex, revenge, and money.
And it doesn't take long to find Renee's not-so-secret lover.
You should leave him.
My lawyer thinks I'm gonna lose custody.
What are you gonna do?
I need your help.
And under this heading of sex comes love and affairs and things like that.
You can fix this.
She understood that she could so wholly manipulate John that anything really she asked him to do, he was so committed he would find a way to do it. He wants this woman all to himself. That kind of person is very useful to Renee.
In 2000, John Frazier is found guilty of armed robbery, conspiracy to commit murder, and murder. He's serving 30 years in prison.
I believe it's fair to say John Frazier was a dupe. I don't know that he would have ever conceived of such a thing on his own. He absolutely was handled by Renee.
Renee Poole is convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and murder. She's sentenced to life without parole. Across town, 28-year-old Brian Spinks is also giving back to his community and his country.
Brian was a hardworking, dedicated military man.
This is all you do in the Air Force, play dominoes all day.
After 2 tours of duty and almost a decade of service, Brian has the love and respect of his comrades.
I think the game's well and truly won. Brian was a guy to kind of have everybody over at his house, to be that place so that anybody can just hang out.
At one of his get-togethers in 2008, Brian's life takes a beautiful turn.
She just seemed like a nice girl, very laid back, kind of quiet. She was very upset. She was yelling and screaming. And there were some people trying to hold her back.
Get off me!
She was always picking fights and arguments when it came to anybody other than her.
Brian was upset. And he told one of our other friends, hey, just take me home. Y'all don't know what I gotta go through with this girl.
It's the last straw for Brian. After drinking heavily, he decides to call it off permanently.
Brian was embarrassed by her behavior.
I'm tired of dealing with this.
And he left her a voicemail telling her how embarrassed he was and that they were over.
If you had answered your phone, I was gonna tell you why. I'm done with you. But you didn't want to answer your phone. It's fine.